Look at that. Bloody beauty. Spot on. Well guys, welcome back to Ransom Low Range. As you can see, we're cooking up some breakfast. It's a fine sunny morning here out at Gordon Country. We got here last night. Holly will agree it was quite cold. I think it was meant to be about 2 overnight, so it was a bit brisk. So what we're going to do here is have a look around, hang out, and we're going to run over the car and update a few things and yeah, run you over our setup that we're going to have for the Cape. So that's coming up quick. So we'll have a look around and yeah, hope you enjoy. Hey guys, so we're just going to have a quick rundown after breakfast. Obviously we don't have Frank anymore. That was just dragging on a bit. I didn't have the time and the facilities to finish it and make it reliable, so we moved on. Sent him to a new home and picked up the mighty Dmax. We picked it up dead stock, and we've done a heap of modifications and changes just so we can set it up for our Cape trip, so for touring and whatnot. So we're just going to have a quick run over it bit by bit. Tent, mechanical stuff, set up in the back, 12-volt system, all that sort of jazz, and yeah, just so you know what we've got and what we're working with, and maybe help you out with your own builds. So we haven't spent heaps of money. It's been reasonably affordable without skimping too much and still having reasonable quality and reliability in the car. So let's have a little look around. Right, let's start with my favourite bit, the fridge. So, all pretty straightforward. This is just a King's slide. It's not very expensive, it's not very flash, but it works. Rolls out over the tailgate. We also use the tailgate just to store like odds and ends while we're cooking and whatnot. So I can't remember the size of this. I think it's maybe like 50 litres or a little bit bigger, but that's more than enough for 2 people for, you know, nearly 2 weeks, I reckon, if you pack sensibly. Most places you go, you can always top up anyway, so it's pretty basic. It's a pretty good fridge actually. So if you have a look in here, it's just a top little drawer, and then this is a double basket, so there's actually another basket underneath, so if it wants to stay open. There's a second basket down the bottom, so normally put all our frozen stuff down there, just to keep the bottom really cold, so meats, and we cryovac everything, so we get it really nice and compact as well, so you can fit a lot of food in there. This top basket just drops back in, and that's normally like, not so many Jack Daniels, but milk, cheese, bickies, dips, lettuce, etc. So that's all pretty straightforward. Once again, they're just King's drawers. They work fine. You can spend a lot of money on drawers. So we've actually bought a double, which was in Frank, and I've split it, and I've put the fridge slide up on top of here, and now instead of tying a fridge on top, we actually have 2 of these, and they're like our pantry, so one on top of the other, and just tie it on. Super simple, lightweight, works a treat, keeps them tied down so they're not banging around. We have launched a car and smashed plastic boxes apart. That was Holly's fault, not mine. Drawers are pretty straightforward. Cutlery, condiments, odds and ends, so like herbs and spices, some sauces, Vegemite, salt and pepper, etc. Lights, pots and pans, all that sort of jazz, some fire lighters and knives, all pretty easy. Top one is our little gas cooker, a couple of spare canisters, some spare water just in case, sun cream because I'm a pasty white boy, olive oil, paper towel, all that sort of stuff, all the stuff you need. Down the sides, we have a foldable fire pit, which is out at the moment. Axe, that's a cooktop as well. We put our table in there, and on the opposite side, normally we put some wood or our seats or whatever. Works pretty well. So we'll run the camera around this side, and I'll jump around this side, and I'll show you our little 12-volt setup. It's straightforward, simple, and it works, so we'll have a look at that. Alright, so in the back of the car, behind the fridge and the drawers that we just looked at, we have built this box, so marine ply and a little bit of carpet over it as well. Fits perfectly between these two original tie down points, so side to side it is rock solid, and we've just screwed it to the floor. On this side, we've actually figured out we can fit a jerry can of water in here, so that's perfect. This is the compressor. Pull it out as needed. And there's a tie down strap here and a spare snatch strap, and this is all my tools, so socket sets, screwdrivers, multimeters, all that sort of jazz, odds and ends. And then if you look at the top of the lid on this side where it's enclosed, that is just once again obviously a King's panel, two 12-volt sockets and two USB chargers at the bottom, and it also displays how much power we're putting out into the fridge and the system itself, and where the battery's at. So if you open the lid on that side, you'll see all we're running is a 12-volt system here. No inverters, none of that. After all, we're camping. This is light and super simple. So we're running 100 amp hour battery, and then the Thunder DC-DC charger, and a fuse block. So the fuse block obviously is fused to all of our external sockets, and the back of the actual little charging panel there. On the side of the box there where you are, you'll also see there is a solar in. So that's just a Anderson plug, and we can run our solar panel, which will charge directly to the battery. And we also have a secondary Anderson plug, which will run the compressor or whatever else you have an Anderson plug on. There is also an Anderson plug that runs across the back here to run the fridge. So you probably can't see it from there, but it's on this side. You can unplug that and just take the fridge out if you don't want it in the back of the car. So very, very simple, not much to it. Works an absolute treat. We can probably sit for 3 or 4 days charging cameras, phones, fridge, all that sort of jazz without even having to start the car. So it's pretty much spot on for what we want. So yeah, it's turned out really, really well. From here, I think we might have a look at the tent, and yeah, basically the setup for cooking and whatnot as well. So we'll jump on this side of the car and we'll have a quick look and yeah, see what you guys think. Alright, so this is a quick rundown of where we cook, Master Chef. Basically we figured out with the little side windows open, on the latches we can actually put our little rechargeable lights. So these are LED, high, medium, low, and they also have a yellow sort of tinge to them, which is meant to stop bugs and whatnot. So they fit perfectly on there, which shines perfectly over this. So this is where we cook, pretty simple. Just a table, like I said before, that goes in the back of the car. Jerry can with the tap on the end of it, obviously for water, washing hands, boiling water, all that sort of jazz. These things are really good too, so we actually use them inside the tent, under the tent as torches and whatnot, multi-purpose, and we charge them on our 12-volt system. So they charge overnight, and we've got 4 ready to go. They're magnetic as well. If you have a gazebo, you can chuck them on a gazebo. They're awesome. They've been really, really handy. Probably one of Holly's best finds with these things. And since then we've got their torches and all sorts of jazz. Anyway, double gas cooker from Bunnings, just cheap. We just cook breakfast on it, so it's a bit nasty, don't get too close. And these we got from Aldi. They actually all fit together in a little setup, and they are spot on. Old Pops has a set of those, and we managed to snag a set as well. So this up here, if you want to take a little look around, this is the Yakima Skyrise. It is so good. Normally this is on the trailer, but we have fitted it to the Yakima roof platform, which you probably can't see. But yeah, it's perfect. Normally up there we would have shovel, high lift jack, max tracks, awning, all that sort of jazz. Before the Cape we've narrowed it down. These are our little sky hooks, so if you look here, they basically slide in this track. So where they slide in the track, little carabiner, and we run little Oki straps between, so we can dry tea towels, for example, and our towels, a little bit of Sheridan, a bit of class while you're camping. I'm a kept man. This is a Sky Loft, so this basically also slides in, like everything else at the moment, sliding in there. And clothes, so jumpers, all that sort of jazz. There's not heaps in there at the moment, but little zippable pockets and whatnot, so you put your deodorant in there, your toothpaste, whatever else, odds and ends. So just really good storage out of the weather, keeps it up off the ground. And these right here are the sidekicks. So sidekicks are awesome. Obviously you jump up in bed, you got your shoes on, take your shoes off and they will fit in there. Once you fold that down, obviously it's waterproof. And it's also got mesh on the bottom as well, so it will let anything out, foot funk, etc. Zippable pocket, which is a sealed zip, which is quite nice. Water bottle on the side, so if you're thirsty at night or whatever, you just jump down and grab it. Holly's put a lighter in here, don't know why, but a good place to keep your lighter. If you want to keep your lighter in there, you can put it there. More so, what I use it for is torches, because I'm blind as a bat, so torch. So that can go in there pretty easy when you're going for a little restroom stop at night. Just grab that and off you go, happy days. And yeah, we'll jump up inside there, so if you come with me, come here, come on, come here, come here, come on. Yeah, got this. We bought these over your standard sleeping bags because they don't rustle and make noise, so just a material top. Super warm, super comfy. And this is the Kima Skyrise. God, I'm getting old. So this is pretty cool. All zippable on the sides there, so it's currently got the fly, and then you can fold it up. It's quite cold at the moment, so we have it completely zipped up, but for the video we've opened it up so you can see. And obviously why you call it a Skyrise is because you can see straight out the roof, so pretty cool. That's the fly over the top. These are little fly screens, and then you can put those down, which closes it all up. Pockets and whatnot. Cats on my pillows. The only thing we added was a mattress topper, so it's nice and soft. The standard mattress was a bit hard. Anyway, that's tents, etc. done. We might duck around to the inside of the car. There's not much in there, it's pretty simple again, like the back of the car, so have a quick look at that. And then we'll move on to mechanical odds and ends, which is a whole heap of fun. Yeah. Welcome to the inside of the Dmax. Everything, once again, is quite simple in here. Same as the back, less things to go wrong, nice and light, no extra things, just what you need. It's quite functional, so UHF, mainly for the passenger, but if there's no passenger, it's still accessible for the driver. And we have this mod armor up here on the dash, and it basically works off really strong magnets. It's been really cool. So we run HEMA maps off the phone, and then obviously the charger out of the glove box to the bottom of the phone. The magnet is super strong. I've been really surprised at Fraser. It held up really, really well. Didn't even move. And that's been perfect for us. So that's really simple setup. No iPads, no extra things that you don't really necessarily need. Just nice and simple of the things that you have. Other than that, just spotlight switches and whatnots, odds and ends. It's all pretty straightforward and stock, clean and simple and effective. So we'll jump in the back, have a quick look. There's a little bit of stuff there, and yeah, nice and easy, nothing too crazy. Alright, welcome to the back seat. This is where the magic happens. ARB deflator, obviously, pretty standard bit of four-wheel drive kit. Second UHF for spotting, and then a snake kit. That's mainly for the cape, but at the same time, you never know. It's always handy to have one. Not big to carry, just a safety, and a spare hat. Spare hat because I burn like a crisp and I always forget my hat. On this side, once again, just a little bit more storage. Toilet paper, because when nature calls, you never know. Nice and easy to get to. Winch cable and winch controller. Normally run it wireless, but you know, if all else fails, you do need to run it mechanically as such. It's their medical kit, and then we've got a book of maps on the back, because once again, if things fail, we have a physical backup as such. Underneath the front seats here, so this side is a snatch strap, so we've got an ARB snatchy under there. nice and easy to get to for the driver or anyone else for that matter. It's not hidden away in a bag in the back or anything like that. Originally I did have it in a bag, but after seeing a few people get stuck, functionality wise, that is a lot better place to have it. On this side we have a tree trunk protector and our winch cover, whatever you want to call it, dampener, blah 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 blah. Gotta have one. It's a major safety issue if you don't. Under the back seats, I found a little hidey hole, so if you have a look in here, these are things that you won't need as much. So there is a snatch block in there, obviously for doing a double line pull. That's tucked right in there, I won't pull it out. That is a winch extension strap, and then in here we have all of our shackles and whatnot. So what would you call it, a hitch snatch adapter is in there as well. It's all hidden away nice and neat, but easily accessible. Up the Cape, most of that stuff will be on the car at all times. We won't need to access it quickly, it will be there. Yeah, other than that, on the back seat, that's where our bags are going to go, pillows, beers, etc, etc, all on the back seat. Simple, easy to access, not too complicated. Behind the seat there's heaps of room as well. For the future that may hold things like a compressor for lockers, other odds and ends and whatnot. There's heaps of room in the back of these, which is really quite functional and I found to be pretty handy actually. So I think from here we might have a look at the mechanicals of the car and the things we've done to make it a little bit more capable, safer and reliable for four-wheel driving. So we'll jump on the outside of the car and we'll have a quick look around. Alright, so we're just going to have a quick look at what we've done with the Dmax performance-wise and just for capability off-road. So under the engine bay, nothing much at all, is the almighty 4JJ1 motor. These things are killer. You can get stupid amounts of power out of them, but for reliability for us, we're going to try and keep stock airbox and stock injectors and whatnot. You can really get close on nearly mid 200 horsepower of these things if you want to. But for us touring, we want to be able to pull up and replace a part and it's a factory part. The only thing that isn't factory here is the solid cooler pipes. It's not something it's not going to break. These, much like the Nissans as well, they have a big long intercooler pipe. There's pretty much a glorified radiator hose. They swell under pressure. They don't give you a nice snappy boost. These things work a treat, so I did opt to go to solid cooler pipes. Other than that, everything else is going to be kept stock. It works, it's reliable, it's not putting it in any sort of operating realms that it's not really made to be whilst we're out in the middle of nowhere. So pretty straightforward, very simple. Obviously all of our wiring runs from the battery there to the back of the car and whatnot, spotties and all that sort of jazz. An airbox runs into our Safari snorkel. I opted for the Safari snorkel because I just don't really like the big drain pipe looking snorkels. It's quieter, does the same thing. It's a much more simple and clean look, personally. Each to their own. When you move to the bull bar, we obviously have our Oricom aerial to go with our Oricom UHF, and this is an Ironman bull bar, very, very simple. This is just their commercial bar. Opens up a lot in here where the factory bumper comes right down flat, so it opens right up. And we've also paired it with the recovery points from Ironman. It just all matches in with everything else and it fits really nice and clean. So recovery points from Ironman. These are off Frank, so these are your spotties, just two 7-inch King spotties, nice and cheap, nothing too special. They work fine. You don't need copious amounts of light bars and everything else under the sun. While sometimes it looks cool, these function perfectly. Very basic, but do the job. This is an old King's winch. This thing came off Frank. I don't know how old it is, but it's still working and it's still fine. So for now, we're just going to run it. It's still reliable, doesn't have any issues, so we're still running the hook and everything on it. Just how it is out of the box. Works really well. So the Ironman, while you're down here, the Ironman bull bar also comes with this protection here, which will then eventually lead on to our underbody protection, which we're yet to get. And then these nice big side infill panels here. So nice and strong if you need to bump up a step or something like that. Alright, as we go further around the car, we'll move to tyres and suspension. So the tyres are a Falcon Wild Peak. So they're a 265 75/16, and they creep on pretty close to a 32, so a 31.7 if you want to be exact. Perfect for what we want to do, not too crazy, not too big, they don't scrub anywhere, nice and comfy, and they're on a 16/8 with a 0 offset, which will give you a tiny little bit of poke outside the guard, which works quite well just to protect the guard, because I'm not running a scrub bar or anything like that. Yeah, good all-terrain tyre, super quiet on the road, really soft, really smooth, really good ride. I've been very, very impressed after running a lot of different tyres, and a lot of mates running different tyres over the years. These things are absolutely awesome. Suspension-wise in the front, we have a 3-inch Bilstein shock with a West Coast spring. That's a newer company that's been around, and they're really nice. This car rides amazingly well. For a car that's leaf sprung in the rear with an IFS front, this thing drives like butter. It's amazing. We've got the Black Hawk upper control arms in there as well, and we also have a diff drop. So the diff drop brings your diff down and aligns up your CV joints a little bit better, so the CV joints are running on a nicer angle with that size lift. Gets the car to sit nice and even as well. So now we've had a look at that, we'll move on to the side protection. So these are fat bar sliders. You can get these in a degree as well, so they slope up. I got them so they ran flat, so we can stand on them to put the tent up. I also quite like this functionality wise for us touring. This is a smarter option. Fat bars are also straight out of Brendale, so Brisbane, so local again. That's awesome. I love that. And he's a cyclist as well, so if any of you know, I own a bike shop. This dude has been around a long time, and he started making these out of his garage, so he's moved to a full-blown factory now and absolutely killing it. These things are awesome quality, easy to fit. Highly recommend get down and see Paulie at Fat Bars, he'll sort you out. Moving on to the back, the back springs, once again, they are a West Coast spring. You probably can't see too much in there, but they're a West Coast spring. With Bilstein shocks, so they're a 0 to 300 constant in the rear, which has been perfect for us. Rides really well when there's no weight in it and doesn't sag out. When we're carrying all our gear in the back, it doesn't sag out and look all sort of Cali lean in the back, so it still rides really nicely and sits well on the road. Other than that, from the engine we do have a 3-inch exhaust. The 3-inch exhaust is a Playtime exhaust. It bolts straight on, aluminiumized steel. It's awesome, sounds good. We have one resonator in it from the turbo back, and it is a non-DPF model, so no messing around with DPFs or anything like that, which is something I was looking for when I was buying one of these. There's just no issues with that sort of stuff. Other than that, no bar on the back. Eventually, modifications we do want to do is move to a tray rear, and probably like a half or a 3/4 canopy on the back with a little bit of space out the back and a couple of lockers. So probably locker in the front, and we'd like to go to an LSD in the rear. Just make the car so much more comfortable, capable off-road, and on top of that, we'll definitely help it protect the CV joints, because anyone who owns a Dmax, they are a little fragile, but so are any IFS vehicle, so it will help us drive harder tracks without putting extra strain on the breakable parts or weak points of the car. So that's pretty much the Dmax. In and out, I think, well, we spent a little bit of coin, but at the same time you can buy one of these and drop, you know, 6 to 8 grand in it, and you'll have a great time with all good parts without absolutely breaking the bank and buying all top of the line stuff. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed having a look around. We're just going to go back to camping now, cook up a feed, have a couple of beers, get the fire going, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Yep, right there. Alright. I'm just going to take you guys for a quick little wander around. I'm trying to keep the fire going. because last night it was very cold, and it appears my little fire didn't suffice. So now I've collected a large pile of wood. I'm probably going to need a little bit more, because Holly needs sufficient warmth. And last night, I don't really feel the cold, but yeah, it was damn cold. So we're going to go for a little wander. I know there's a little creek down there, so we might go and check that out, go for a bit of walk around. I don't think we're going to do any full driving. I think we're just going to hang out and, yeah, chill, which is nice for once. So Holly's just over here. Let's see what she's doing. What she got, Hollis?
Thrilling content.
Corporate finance. It's not going to be on our YouTube channel. Follow Holly. Yeah, good, thanks. Have fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, enjoy yourself with that. Holly is doing an MBA, so intelligence, etc. I just light fires, and that's really about it. Fix bikes. Hey mate, need a lift? Jump on in. So I have upgraded Holly's heater system. She seems to be a fair bit happier now. Not afraid to burn things. So Holly's just doing some washing up, and we are going to get some dinner on. So we're having some beef and halloumi skewers and Holly's favourite, chicken rice. How much do you have chicken rice?
I love chicken rice.
She would eat so much chicken rice, she would turn into chicken rice. Girl loves a bit of chimkin rice. As you can tell, I tried to get the car dirty, did an average job, but yeah, we did a little bit of full driving, as you probably just saw. And yeah, it was fun. So now we're just going to chill out for the night, have a couple of drinks, enjoy this marvellous fire that I have made, and have some dinner. So, enjoy. Chicken rice, Hol's favourite. So what is chicken rice? Comes in a packet and...
It's like 2-minute noodles, but
rice. Yeah, it's great. So a little bit of water, a little bit of butter. Comes in like a packet, so easy to store, and you don't have to carry extra stuff, and it fills you right up. And then some beef and halloumi. So yeah, dinner's on the go, and campfire is cranking. Way over there. Yeah. What are you doing there, Hol? Stirring the pot? That was pretty funny, eh?
Hilarious.
Yeah. Alright guys, well that wraps up a little weekend trip to Gordon Country. It was a lot of fun. It was very cold. We had a good look over the Dmax, so I hope you enjoyed seeing what we've done and where we're at, and the setup. Hopefully it might help you make some choices about what you're going to do on your car. Yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of jazz, and we'll see you next time. Cheers!